The Dick Show.
Tight ends, sacks, ball handling, like every how
You forgot the best one.
Deep penetration.
Did they say that?
America.
Fuck yeah. Oh, imagine the possibilities.
I've been riding Caleb Williams' dick since he was in high school.
This is a true story. All right, welcome back. It's week 3, and I just have to ask, Chris, are you still riding that dick?
I mean, it's still in. Still in. 2 weeks in a row.
Hold on. Finally, the dicks have come back to YouTube.
Hey, nice.
Hit the
Yeah.
button, hit the button,
Did we
hit the button.
get suspended or something? Not that I know of.
That's
yet.
in honor of The Rock coming back down to. He's back on SmackDown.
Oh, shit.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, it was
Oh.
on Friday night. He's gonna be back, kicking ass, taking names.
I hadn't heard about it.
Drinking Terramana. Ha, ha, ha.
As opposed to, I don't know,
Oh,
some Coors Lights, maybe?
oh, welcome, fellas.
Oh.
Shall we?
Yeah.
It's time to get started. All right.
All right. Cheers to that.
Yeah. There we go. Off
Proudly
and running.
sponsored by
Which means-
Coors Light.
When the mountains are cold, it's time for you to enjoy your.
Blue.
I know, I
Jesus,
like
how
saying
many
it that
times
way,
can you
dude.
Fuck that up.
When the mountains are blue, it's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy your favorite pod show, The Dick Show Live, previously recorded.
Previously recorded.
Yep. All right. Off and running. Now, oh, man. You guys kill me. Again with the intro. It's great. It's funny. Fucking
Yeah,
Tight
that's
ends.
good. Putting my wife in there.
Tight ends,
ends.
ball handling.
Yeah.
I got some balls you can handle.
Yeah. All right. So, where do you guys want to start the week? What do you think?
Let's start quickly, unless you guys got a story to tell. But let's start with NASCAR and how this guy, who doesn't know a fucking thing about NASCAR, is your leader.
Yeah, so he's feeling pretty proud about that.
Huh?
So
Huh?
Mr. Kelly over here claims he knows nothing about NASCAR, but he's the season leader currently with 129 points. I'm trailing at 110 and Chris at 94. All 3 of Kelly's picks in these playoffs have been top 5 race finishers. So,
And I
let's
got
help
another
him.
good one this week, too.
Yeah,
So.
well, yeah, you got the winner this week. You got another good pick, you mean?
Yes,
For this
yes,
week.
absolutely.
Do you actually research this in
Yeah,
some
I
way?
spent a whole 2 minutes on it.
Okay.
Dang, I haven't even looked yet to make my pick.
Yeah.
I did all my picks this morning, so
Where are they racing this week?
Texas.
They're in
Oh,
yeah.
Texas. Okay.
Yep.
A big, nice,
Mile and a half.
yeah,
Yeah.
fast track.
Yep. So we'll see. But yeah, Denny Hamlin wins last weekend, which, okay. Denny Hamlin is Denny Hamlin. That's fine.
yeah. He's had a pretty good year.
Yeah, there's a possibility he could actually get a championship for a change if he keeps his nose clean and doesn't piss people off before he gets to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's done that a couple times already this year, though. So we'll see if that comes back to bite him with payback from Larson or something like that from what he did earlier in the year. But yeah, Kelly's leading the standings. So congratulations to you. We're just going to have to come take that title away from you by the end of the 10 weeks here.
Yep.
Is that how many races are left?
For the playoffs, there's a total of 10 weeks. So 7 more.
7 more?
Yep.
All right, well.
We're coming for you.
That's what she said.
I mean, hell, Chris is only 16 points behind me, and he missed a week.
Yeah, I missed
So
a
he's
whole
doing pretty
week.
decent, too.
Not bad. Not bad.
So, anyway.
If I could control my drinking, I would have remembered that week.
Is that where we're going with that?
No, I was out of town. I think I was in Vegas that weekend.
yeah, that's right. You were.
And I was predisposed quite a bit on that trip. You know what I mean?
Well,
So-
on that note, we have to go to the Vegas thing since Kelly never told a story last week.
Yeah, which part do you want to hear? Because we were talking about it earlier. You want to hear about the guy that passed out in the shower and then covered the drain and flooded his room?
That's pretty solid.
How about the same guy that got taken out in a wheelchair from a nightclub because he was so drunk?
Yeah, you'll have that. Vegas does some.
He
does
showed
some
up
stuff
at the
to you.
bus to go back to the airport, and he still had the sticky things on his chest from because they took him.
EKG.
Yeah, because they took him to the hospital. He was so drunk and pumped his stomach.
So he's getting on the bus looking like the Hangover. He's got the hospital tag still on his wrist and everything.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy.
And not only that, they didn't shave his chest, so he's pulling the things off, and he was hairy too.
Oof. That
Just a
doesn't sound fun.
small dude, but fuck.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
Man, I had a friend in Vegas one time. Same thing. Enjoyed the weekend a little too much. Gambled all his money. Ordered a taxi to get back to the airport so he could catch his flight. He was still pretty hammered, right? He didn't have enough money to get to the airport, so the taxi cab driver kicked him out of his cab on some street corner, basically, and he walked over to one of the bus stop benches and fell asleep and slept there for like 2 hours. Woke up. He had missed his flight. He didn't have money to get to the airport, so he had to call somebody from our group, and they had to get him back to the airport, and then he was able to like get the flight rescheduled and stuff, but
Vegas has a way of doing things to you.
Yep.
You don't realize how long the strip really is. My ex and I, we were there one time, and we stopped. I want to say we were staying at the MGM. We stopped at the Paris and got the big like Eiffel Tower margaritas, and we're walking down the strip with those things, drinking them, and we're down near past the Venetian, so we were way down the strip from the MGM. But you live the life thinking it's Vegas, you can do whatever the fuck you want in Vegas. So we go to get on the bus, and the driver's like, you can't bring those on here. And I'm like, it's Vegas, it's a bus. And he's like, nope, can't do it. So I'm looking at the $19 drink in my hand and the $2 bus pass in the other hand, and I'm going,
We'll walk.
Yeah, we'll walk. So we start walking. By the time we got back, we were so hammered and dehydrated, you don't realize how much damage you're doing walking out there, And that was a rough night. That made for a really rough night.
I'm telling you, the best time you can have in Vegas, you start at one end on one side of the strip, and you walk casino to casino, and you look for the waitress serving drinks that just took like a drink order, and you put $5 in a machine. You wait for her to get back. As long as there's money in the machine, she brings you a drink. You give her $1, cash out, get your money, move on to the next one.
Use that as your walking drink.
They use that as your walking drink.
Yep.
You can go up the strip and down the strip for $20 and not know where you are at the end of the night.
I've had the exact opposite of that happen to me with that idea in mind, except one time I went to the Aria and I did that. I sat at a slot that was close to the drink area, right? And I saw the lady come out. I ordered a double crown on the rocks, which at the Aria, they're pretty. I mean, it's a nice place. So I'm sitting there waiting, and then I start playing, and I ended up spending $200 waiting for my fucking single drink. So I had a nice $200 double crown on the rocks at the Aria.
Max bet.
I do have to correct that story. We were at the Luxor on that trip. MGM was another trip. But I've stayed at the Aria, and it was hard to get drinks there.
Yeah, well, that was a thing.
But I was staying there, and I still had
the amount of time I had to wait.
And the table minimums are through the roof there.
Oh, yeah.
I like the Aria, but yeah, I agree. As a matter of fact, though,
nice
now it seems like fucking almost everywhere you go. I did see some when I was there last time. I did see 15 minimum, but only a couple tables. Most of them were 25, if not 50.
25, yeah.
You know what I mean? And there was actually a guy that reserved a table that was playing double deck blackjack, and he was playing like $200 or $300 minimum a hand, but he wasn't playing the minimum. I mean, he was betting out stacks of blacks, like $700-800 a hand, and he sat at that table for hours, just playing. So
we were there one time, so I've been there too many times.
Yeah,
me too.
So we're at the I think it was the Playboy Club in top of the Palms, because they had another rooftop bar over that.
Right.
And I seen a guy, he was playing, 2 hands of blackjack, and he probably had 50,000 in front of him, and they were all $1,000 chips. And I seen this guy play both hands, 10 hands in a row, lost them both, and his minimum bet was 1,000. So in the course of 10 minutes, he lost 20 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been there on like work trips where like the industry that I'm in will have like a big event every year that is constantly moving, right? Could be Chicago, could be somewhere, Miami. This particular year it was in Vegas, which was great because all of the vendors or manufacturers have events that they want their reps to attend, but they set them up in places you wouldn't know about, like that are hard clubs to get into at whatever respective hotels. So I've been fortunate enough to see a lot of those clubs that you would not normally see or get into. There's some pretty cool stuff out there.
So just so people know who are listening, Dustin's industry is dildos.
Yeah, right. If that was the case, I'm pretty sure it would be in Vegas every year.
Yeah.
Pull up that bid sheet you had earlier. I don't remember. It was like 85 double black,
Yeah, right.
12 inchers.
Yeah,
I don't, something like
yeah,
that. I don't
yeah.
remember.
No, we'll have to get our buddy Jay in here one time because there's another good Vegas story I want to tell you guys. It has to do with a helicopter,
Okay.
a real helicopter, just to clarify. But to tell that story without Jay being here to help with the input and some of the hilarity that happened there, it's kind of unfair. We got to get him in here. Make that a short dick or something.
Right.
You guys been to a lot of Cirque du Soleil's there?
I've only been to one.
I've been to Beatles Love.
That's the best one.
I've been to O.
Yeah.
and
Oh, how was that?
O's good. I like O. And then
I always wanted to go that, but it's like $200 a ticket or something.
O is my favorite one, man. That shit. I mean, actually, so it's hard to say because I've seen Love like 4 or 5 times,
Yeah.
and then I've seen O I think 3 times, just because of the water factor. Like O is amazing, but as a show all the way through, Beatles Love is fucking the most entertaining one because
The only one I saw, I don't remember the name of it, but it involved a gigantic, like, champagne glass.
oh yeah,
that was
Zumanity or
Zumanity at
that's
New York, New
That's-
York.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I've
but
seen
we've seen that
Mystere
one, too.
also. I've seen Mystere.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite things.
It was
to
kind
do
of an
in
awkward
Vegas.
thing, by the way. A bunch of naked chicks dancing around when you're sitting next to your mom and stepdad
With your dick out.
aunt. Yeah, they were. That's who I was in Vegas with when we went to see that show.
You're like, I'm gonna get
like,
comfortable, but not
not
too comfortable.
We would always go on my birthday in December. So this will be 8 years now ago. I was turning 40. So we got a room at the Venetian. Those are nice rooms.
Nice place too, yeah.
king size bed, and then you got a walk down. You got a nice.
Yeah,
I took a whole bar. We had 40 people in our room that came for my 40th birthday. People from hockey and everything else. People flew down from Canada. It was a great time.
Yeah.
Set up a little mini bar, get everybody going, hit the tables.
Mm-hmm.
That was the night Conor McGregor beat Jose Aldo.
Oh yeah, 13 seconds.
13
Hell yeah.
seconds. We were at the Emerald Sports Bar
Oh,
at
yeah,
Venetian.
nice.
You know, that whole sports betting bar.
Yep.
Nice.
That was a fucking night, let me tell you.
One of my favorite restaurants to eat at in Vegas is the Grand Lux Cafe there at the Venetian. It's nothing fancy, but it's just
It's kind of a takeoff of what's
like Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
it's, I
much,
think
yeah.
they're owned by the
Yeah,
same.
I was gonna say it is like a little brother to the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
But I love eating there. We used to stay at the Venetian a lot. We got married at the Venetian. My wife and I did. It's 17 years ago now.
Yeah.
But shit, yeah, we used to stay there a lot. One time we stayed there for 10 days, and I think I paid for 3. I got 7 free, so we stayed there for
Nice.
10 days. That's a long fucking trip to Vegas.
Oh yeah, you got to
Yeah.
pace yourself on a trip like that.
And I made money, which was a good thing. I came back like $800 up, but that is a fucking trip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a long time.
After day 3, you're like, get me the fuck out of Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to love it. Now I just hate it. Everywhere you go, everybody's got, their hand out, money in your,
Yeah.
they got their
the most-
hand in your pocket. Like,
You know what I miss though? There's not enough of the card guys. All the
Are
card
they
guys.
all gone
that-
now? You know.
Hey.
yeah. Oh yeah, they took those
And
off.
they give
this-
you, they give you all the titty cards and the
Yeah.
porn cards. Like you don't see as many of those.
My
guys
buddy
anymore.
James
Yeah,
would take them, and then he'd try and trade them with them, and he'd be like, "No, I already got here," and he's like trying to give him these ones.
So when
out
I
of
was
his
a
hand.
kid, they
hated that.
Oh shit! When I was a kid and I would go with my dad, that was the thing I would always do. And I'd grab the cards and I'd try to collect as many as I could. And then I'd be walking by and I'd see people with cards and I'd be like, no, I have that one. Can I get the other one?
You know what used to amaze me? How much of that shit end up on the ground at midnight. By midnight,
right.
You'd get up at 7 in the morning and come outside,
Clean.
and it was spotless. No cards, no cans, no cups, no.
That's like
nothing.
going to Bourbon Street in New Orleans.
Yeah, I was gonna say Key West is the same way. By the
Unfortunately,
end of
New York City is not like that.
the night, no, yeah. Key West, I think they don't cut you off from alcohol till like 4 in the morning, so it's like.
Well, I think
And then they have the bars that open where you can take your own drinks in after that, right?
right,
So
yeah.
like you can go to the after club and
But
just
it's-
bring in your own beer.
But there's like this 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. witching hour where somebody cleans the shit out of that city. And if you're like leaving your hotel room at 7 in the morning on a Sunday to come home, you're shocked at how clean it is and how many roosters are fucking running around because there are a lot of roosters down there.
I think they're called cocks.
yeah, that's what I was about to
Yeah.
say. Cocks.
Yep.
Bunch of cocks.
All right. Well, should
Well-
we talk some football?
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. We went on a complete tangent. What's your pick for NASCAR this
Oh, I haven't made mine.
Yeah, I haven't-
I'm
I haven't
not-
week?
made
Oh,
it
then
yet.
I'm not telling you mine.
No, you don't
All
have
right.
to.
Yeah, you don't have to.
But mine's a former winner. He's done well in the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
I'm thinking Kyle Larson. No, you already burnt Kyle Larson.
I already took him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you already burnt that one.
Yeah, that's the tough thing now is trying to think of racers I haven't used
Yeah.
that are. I know. I mean, there's still quite a few good ones out in there, but especially coming down in the like the last 3 or 4 weeks, I don't want to leave myself a driver that I know isn't gonna have that chance to
Right.
win. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Same. Yeah. Trying to be careful. That's why I haven't made my pick yet. I'm mulling it over. still.
Strategery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The strategery in this shit. You know.
Plus, I had to pay our dues. Like, otherwise, we were about to get cut off from it like 2 hours from now. So,
Right.
Oh.
so anyway, that I think wraps it. You know what we didn't do? We didn't introduce ourselves, but I think we're past that now.
You're Dustin.
You should almost
You're Chris.
You should almost put that
That's
in
Kelly.
the intro.
Yeah.
And just, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I'm
And
the
then we don't have
shaft.
to do it every weekend because we don't.
I'm still the shaft, guys.
I'm
figure-
I'm still the ass.
I'm the head. No, I think the few people that are listening know who's who.
Probably.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Should we get into football?
Yeah,
You want
man.
to start
with some-
is this college or
Let's
NFL?
Let's start
Start
with
NFL. Yeah, let's go NFL.
Because the first thing we want to mention is tight race this week in the picks. Kelly went 11-5. Chris and I both went 10-6.
Dun, dun, dun.
So you got the leg up this week.
Oh,
on
it was
us.
tight too.
Man, I'm kicking myself for not taking the Titans in that game, and I thought about it, and I ended up not taking them.
Yeah.
And God dang it! But I didn't see Washington coming out of the gates 2-0. You know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't see that. There's a lot of teams 2-0 that are
Yeah,
kind of a surprise.
That's interesting. Pull up NFL
Tampa Bay.
Network or
Tampa
or
Bay's
something,
2-0.
and just see like the conference.
I know.
And then you can sort them by win and losses. Because I was looking at that today. There's some surprising 0-2 teams,
Oh, I know.
and there's some surprising 2-0 teams.
I was gonna say I know there's a bunch of people that got fucked by Cousins this weekend. Kirk Cousins.
All right. So
Yeah, so if you go conference and then you go click on the W, it'll sort them by wins and losses.
sure.
And you got to do it for up in both conferences.
Yeah.
All right, you got to get rid of that cookie screen. We don't want no fucking cookies.
You should have told me you wanted this beforehand.
I know,
Could have been
I know.
prepared for it.
Say, oh look, there's Lily Carter still.
Yeah. Yahoo Safe Search. Look it up.
So the Ravens
Not surprising.
and the Dolphins really aren't all that surprising at 2-0 to me.
You know, actually, to me, the Dolphins, not really a surprise, but to see them playing as well as they are, I didn't expect them to be playing this well. Again, it all comes down to if Tua stays healthy.
Tua
though,
and
right?
Tyreek
Yeah,
Hill.
those-
Well, and that's notable.
Yeah.
I have that number one on my list to talk about. Tua still doesn't have a concussion
Yep,
this year,
yep.
so I don't know.
He's 2-0 against concussions so far.
There you
So
go.
He's winning. He's winning.
Yeah, so those are the only two undefeateds after last night. The Browns blew their chance at having a 2-0 start for the first time since 1993.
Man, that Nick Chubb injury, though.
That was bad. So, and none of us have even seen it
I didn't see it.
because they wouldn't show the replay.
Right.
That was one of the first times I've heard them kind of just say, we're not going to. So, if you were watching the game live, I don't know if you were, but they said that they showed it in the stadium. And all the
you could
Steelers
hear
fans
everybody.
gasped.
Everybody
Yeah.
was like,
And
That was like last year.
That
with,
was seconds before Joe Buck said, "We're not going to show this to you." And you just heard
Damar
that.
Hamlin
Right.
when he took that injury.
Yeah.
It's probably on the internet. We can probably find it.
Yeah, I mean, the live feed, you couldn't see it from that angle on the live feed. So they showed the replay of what was shown live on TV, but the camera from the other side is what caught it, and they never showed that on TV. So I don't know. Somebody might have a hard time. I'm sure some internet
yeah, you can
sleuths
find
out
the
there
video.
find
You
it.
can see it because
I
I
don't
know
that I want to.
I know
though.
Kimberly saw a cut of it or something and told me about it. But yeah, it was not good.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
not good.
And then the Steelers. Now, the other half of that game, the Steelers are now 21 straight wins
On
in
Monday
Night
Night
football
Yeah.
when at home.
That's crazy.
So
And how about TJ
I am
Watt?
going to bet against the Steelers in their next Monday night home game because that has got to end at some point.
yeah, I agree. You start seeing stats like that, and that starts flashing in my
Yeah.
head. The same
Yeah.
thing.
And
Like,
it's
it's inevitable. It's
the
gonna
curse
end.
when they
Yep.
start flashing the stats. That's
Yep,
what.
that's when it
it's the
starts-
Announcer
yep.
curse.
Anyways, TJ Watt, all-time sack leader for Pittsburgh now.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. And
That's
such-
crazy.
So early in
What, he's
young
got
in his career.
6
still.
years?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is his 6th year or something?
That's crazy to think about when you think about all the guys that Pittsburgh had
the
over the
linebackers
years.
are-
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
some of
The
the-
James Harrisons
Yep.
and Polamalu. I mean, it's not like he was a guy that got a bunch of sacks, but just being a playmaker in
Dangerous
general,
either
you know
way,
what
yeah.
I mean?
Go
But
to
here's-
the 0-2 in that conference. So Cincinnati's a kind of surprising one for me. They're being
Yeah.
0-2.
Yep.
I think that and the Chargers are the biggest of those 0-2 teams that are surprises. Man, the Chargers, they're putting points up, but they're getting points put up against them. That's the
Right.
biggest thing I noticed with that. Same thing with the Bengals, and you look 27 points for to 51 against. That's not good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now-
No, they're having a hard time moving the ball.
Yep.
So if we go over to the NFC, you've got a lot of 2-0 teams over here.
So I was reading something today. This is the first time in history in the NFC that seven teams have
yeah.
gone 2-0 to
Yeah.
start the season.
You know, I was just to start with the Cowboys. That defense right now, they've only given up 10 points in 2 games.
Yep.
That defense through 2 games right now statistically is the best defense ever, better than the Steel Curtain defense.
Yeah, I think the more surprising half. I don't think that's shocking. I think a lot of people looked at that defense on paper and went, well, that's going to be tough. I think the shocking part about the Cowboys is 70 points on offense.
Yeah, that's true.
In 2 games.
CeeDee Lamb
that
is-
I did not see coming.
CeeDee Lamb has been balling. Dak has been looking good. They look surprisingly better without having to deal with Ezekiel Elliott, you know.
Yeah.
Which we've been saying, but Pollard was the back there anyways, you know.
Well, and the next 3 on the list that are on the NFC side that we see here on our list, Saints, Eagles, and Niners, I think that's all 3 teams I picked to win their divisions. So those ones don't really surprise me.
They don't
all that
surprise
much.
me at all. But the next 3 kind of do.
Yeah, the Commanders, the Falcons, and Bucks all being 2-0. are
Baker
kinda
Mayfield, man.
Yeah. Is he redeemed? I
He's
said
so-
this before.
You
It's
asked
so
that
far.
after week 1. You're asking it again after week 2.
I know, but they're 2-0.
I mean, he threw for over 300 yards. He didn't have an interception this week. He took care of the ball. Those are big things.
I got some numbers here. So, in terms of best division, the NFC East has 7 wins. Now that's probably because they didn't play too many conference games, and the one that they did, so there had to be a
Had to be
loser,
loss, yeah. So that's the only loss.
right? And then the NFC South has 6 wins. So, all 3 of those, the Saints, the Falcons, and the Bucks, are all 2-0. And Carolina is 0-2, which isn't surprising.
Well, didn't 2 NFC South teams play each other in week 1 also? Didn't the Texans and Titans play each other, maybe?
Texans are AFC, right?
That's AFC.
Or sorry, I was thinking AFC
Yeah.
South.
And
yes.
Titans AFC. Also.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
I was thinking AFC
I think
South, not
Atlanta
NFC South.
played Carolina last year.
Yeah, I
or
was
last
thinking
week.
of the AFC South.
No, that
My
wasn't.
apologies.
Yeah.
Or is that this week? No,
No,
Falcons played
that was
Green Bay.
last week, and then Carolina played last night.
So in terms of
Yeah.
plus minus on points scored, Dallas is plus 60.
Yeah.
2 games.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco is plus 30. The Bills are plus 22, and they lost a game. So that's your 3 teams with the best plus.
And actually,
minus.
their plus minus isn't as good, but as far as points allowed, the Bucks have only given up 13 points, which is pretty crazy too. You know.
Yeah.
And then on the losing side, Las Vegas.
Oh, I'm sorry. Never
third-
mind.
they're
Yeah, they're
13
point
differential,
differential. Yeah, sorry, I looked at it wrong.
Oh, yeah. Las Vegas is minus 27. The
Yeah.
Texans are minus 27. The Giants are minus 37, but that's just because of the week 1 blowout.
Mm-hmm. Giving up 40-0.
The Bears minus 28. You were like, hey, didn't you pick the Bears to win the division?
Hey, it ain't over.
I vaguely
It ain't over.
remember something about at the end of the year. I'm gonna be rubbing that in your face.
Well, I
Ah.
didn't pick them to win the division. I just said, watch out for them.
all right.
Because they're a roadblock. They're pylons out there.
You never know. You never know.
And then Cincinnati minus 24. So
Yeah. So let's look at the 0-2 teams on the NFC side. Unfortunately, we got to talk Cardinals real quick here.
well, let's talk about them after.
Yeah, I was going to say that should segue into Cardinals because I
The
wanted to talk about
surprising
that
one
game
for
a
me
little bit
there
anyways.
is Minnesota being 0-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a surprise. The others are not.
The others are not. So we'll take it from there. And now we're moving on to the Cardinals.
Yeah, we were 2 seconds.
I got a
wrong.
question for you. If you pull up Josh Dobbs, whatever his name is, that guy doesn't have any eyebrows. What the fuck's going on with that? Look
What
at
kind of
him.
question is this?
Pull him up. And
All right.
he does not have eyebrows.
All right. Well, while I'm doing that, I hope you have something you want to talk about, so there's not a whole bunch of dead air while we go through.
Well, I went to the game.
Yeah.
And so that
Yeah.
was pretty cool. The first half, tale of 2 halves, right? I mean, the first half, the Cardinals, they were doing everything right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's
Yeah.
his eyebrows?
I agree. But the first half, the Cardinals were doing everything right. They looked great. James Conner was getting involved. Dobbs was actually, spreading the ball around. They were moving the ball downfield. Looked good. The Giants, to go in and play 6 quarters of football and give up 60 points to 0 scored is crazy to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just insane. And actually, even the stats coming out of that first half, the Giants had done absolutely nothing that whole game or that whole half. So it was surprising to see them just turn around immediately, score 31 points, and only give up the 8 points in the second half.
Yeah. 24 unanswered points to win.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I put
Unacceptable.
a bet in there on the Giants right as the third quarter was starting, which hit.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a
Good
nice.
for you.
Yep.
It's
Well, it was
probably
a-
your fault.
Plus,
It was plus 320, I think.
so you put $50 down.
50,
and
yeah. I
you
think it
you
was
cashed out 210.
yeah, 220. I think
Yeah.
325 maybe, but yeah, I cashed 220,
Yeah.
so that wasn't bad. But
And in his text, he tells us this, and he's like, "I still have faith."
mm-hmm.
Good
As he
on you.
cashes out.
Good on you.
Right? Yeah, I didn't. I thought there was a split second whenever they got back to like it was right there, and I'm thinking like, man, just it would be cool to see it, but I also wanted the Cardinals to see if they could pull it out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's a part of me, but I tell you what, the biggest thing that I thought was surprising to me was the amount of Giants fans there. I mean,
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me.
and no, the
I've
Giants
been
travel
noticing
well.
this.
The Giants travel well, and I've
It's been an
noticed
Arizona problem.
the
for a while.
Cardinals. Yeah, the Cardinals' issue is that
I think every league it's a problem. Maybe not the Suns,
Yeah,
but
the
definitely
Suns are
the Coyotes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's definitely a destination game for a lot of people. to
with
come here.
baseball,
Well, especially with hockey, it's the weather.
Right.
They want to come down here for hockey games. Canadians come down here to watch hockey games here
Mm-hmm.
in nicer weather. You know.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their flight and the tickets are probably cheaper than tickets
At home.
At home.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to Mullet Arena.
Well,
That's true.
Yeah,
That-
that's fucking
that's
insane.
different now.
I'd like to go see a game there, but I'm also like, fuck, man.
I don't want to
I don't
spend
wanna-
$300.
Yeah, exactly.
I
I don't
wanna
want to spend
spend
$300
$300 in
just to
gas.
get in there. Right?
It's
No
fucking
shit.
hour and a half drive from here.
No shit.
Parking.
Yeah, but so it was cool to see, watch the game, and I mean, unfortunately, they collapsed. The Cardinals collapsed. The Giants had their comeback, made it work. That was cool. But as far as like the fans go, I didn't see any real fights or anything. I saw some people yell I saw some nachos thrown on a dude, so that was kind of cool.
You know what? My big takeaway from that I found interesting was the photo you sent. I think you sent, or I saw on Facebook or something. Why the hell are you wearing an Arizona Cardinals jersey and not a Giants jersey?
Because I don't have a Giants jersey.
You didn't want to get in a fight.
No, I don't care about that. I would wear one. I don't have a Giant. I've got one Giants jersey that is like not one that I can wear out because it's like 3 times bigger than, you know what I mean? So it looked like I'm wearing like the fucking little kid pajamas, like just down to my knees, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And so, and I have a Kyler Murray jersey, so I wore it. And yeah, it was fun to go. It's fun to go to those games, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and then, again, that's the nice thing about that stadium is only 20 minutes away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
as
for sure.
opposed to an hour and a half away.
It took me longer to get out of the parking lot.
Probably took you close to an hour to go to the Diamondbacks game on.
Actually, the drive there was only about 25 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 30 minutes
That's
maybe.
How did you do it that fast? Well, I guess weekend, no traffic.
Yeah, and we got there early. We made sure we got down there like we got to the stadium and the game time. It was like an hour and 15 minutes early.
Oh, okay.
So we got in there, got our free hats,
Right.
and then walked around, or not really walked around, sat down, got some food and all that stuff.
Right.
But I've figured out like the parking passes. It sucks to have to pay for it, but if you get the right garage and you know how to do it, like it's
Right.
not hard to get in and out. The traffic leaving, no matter what garage you're leaving, unless
Right.
you leave early, that sucks. But yeah, it took us longer for the Cardinals game. It took us longer to get out of the parking lot. It took us like 45 minutes from when we were in the car to leave. Just that
Out onto
fucking
Glendale,
just to
yeah.
get out onto Glendale, basically.
Yeah.
And then once we're on Glendale, it's easy.
Yeah.
So another interesting thing that came out regarding the Cardinals this week. Buda Baker is on the IR with a hamstring injury.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's tough.
Now, is that him just because we didn't extend him, did we? He was holding out. He
No,
was
they
unhappy.
signed
They did
didn't they
sign
do
him.
the 1-year tender with him?
I thought they did.
I thought they tendered him
made a
for
late
1
deal.
year.
Yeah, I thought they made a late deal just before the season started, but maybe not. We could look.
Because he didn't play this weekend, and then he's on the IR.
Yep.
I wonder if that's, he doesn't want to do the same thing Kyler did last week. There's a correlation between hamstring injuries and blowing out your knee somehow.
Right.
Did you hear about the NFL, the lawsuit that they just filed against the NFLPA for apparently the NFLPA telling the running backs, they were advising the running backs to exaggerate their injuries? Have you not heard about that?
No.
I literally just read about this like last night, or saw it last night.
Well, there's nothing exaggerated about what happened to Nick Chubb,
Yeah, that's
And-
for sure.
nor is there with Saquon Barkley.
But I was just wondering, say something like that, like you're saying, in the sense of an injury that, and not saying Buda Baker should be playing through an injury, but something, how bad is it? You know what I mean? How bad is it? Do you know? And then what's going on behind the scenes now? Are players like, they trying to hold out on injuries a little bit longer to get paid until they can get their next contract? Or
Right.
it's weird the way
Or is it a case of we're not going to do much this year anyways? Why hurt myself even
True
more?
that. Yeah, true that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the Buda Baker injury is bad, especially considering he's the anchor on that defense.
My question is did Michael Bidwell go into the locker room at halftime and say, "What the fuck are you guys doing? We got a tank."
Yeah.
And then they shit the bed later on, or
Right.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened there. I mean, they really did genuinely look good, and they were firing on all cylinders. And Josh Dobbs was running over people to get himself into the end zone.
Well,
I mean,
here
it was-
we can go through some stats here because I got the fantasy
sure.
numbers. Talking, it's a nice segue because quarterbacks number 1 on the list in fantasy points, Daniel Jones, 30.74 points this weekend, and that was probably all in the second half.
oh yeah,
Oh,
of it.
yeah,
Guaranteed.
definitely.
Guaranteed.
And then you got Kirk Cousins, Minnesota played Philadelphia, 28.56. Russell Wilson, Denver, boo. But at least they lost to Washington. That was a good pick on my part. Yeah, I think you guys both took Denver.
Yeah, I took Denver. Yep.
Yeah.
Anyways, 25.92. Number 4, Josh Dobbs,
Yeah, which was all the first half.
which was all the first half. 25.22. And he ties Jalen Hurts with Philadelphia. So, the 2 games that are for quarterback points, New York versus Arizona, they're 1-4. And Minnesota versus Philadelphia, 2-5. Some good points there.
Yeah.
Saquon had a good game. Got hurt on got hurt on the last drive there, but he was able to help out on that last drive, and he ended up with a good fantasy.
Now,
week.
is there any update on him?
I think they said 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Okay.
3 to 4 weeks?
Yeah, 3 to 4 weeks, something like that. So that's the last I had heard. Which same thing. I mean, a couple weeks depending on how your season's going.
Do you think Chubb's season's done?
Yeah,
Yeah, they already
Yeah.
called it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think honestly with something like that.
Do we know for sure what it is yet?
No, I still hadn't heard, but the knee is gone. I mean,
Right.
it's blowed
I heard
out.
that's the same knee he injured
in 2016 or 15
yeah, something
or
like
something
that,
like that.
where he blew out every ligament.
Yep.
All right, running backs. Brian Robinson, Washington, 28.9 points. I don't know if you've seen that Washington game or not. I don't have any updates.
Nope.
Kyrene Williams, the Los Angeles Rams versus San Francisco. He got 28 points. Interesting thing, I was on my fantasy on the NFL today, and he was available in every single one of my leagues, and I put in waiver claims on every single league for him. He's kicking ass. Barkley for the Giants, 27.2. He had a great game. And then I was wondering where this guy went.
Yeah, same.
DeAndre
I wasn't
Swift.
sure where he went.
Because he wasn't with Detroit. I'm like, where did he go? Well, he went to Philly. And he had a pretty solid game. 27.1 points. And then the monster down in Miami, Raheem Mostert, 25.7 points.
Mm-hmm.
Running back. So, I mean, they're still getting points.
Yeah.
Yeah, so far the theme for running backs this year is stay healthy. You know what I mean? Through 2 weeks, we've had quite a few running backs go down with season-ending injuries. Top running backs, especially for fantasy. You're talking like top 2 running backs or top pick running backs going down.
Right.
I've got Derrick Henry and I've got Rashad White, and I'm just like, stay healthy. You know what I mean? Just stay healthy.
So the wide receivers with the Chargers, Keenan Allen had a great game, 31.1 points. Number 2, this guy must be a rookie. Puka.
Yeah, Puka.
Puka Nasiu.
Nakwa, I think.
Nakwa?
Yeah, something like that. Puka Nakwa.
He's had a hell of a game, 30.1 points. And that's against a tough San Francisco defense.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Evans, no surprise that he's on this list at number 3.
Hooked up with
Consistency.
Baker Mayfield. There,
Yeah.
Yep.
So there might be some chemistry there. That's why I said, is he redeemed? I'm going to ask this every week until he loses. T. Higgins, Joe Burrow bounced back with a pretty solid game. They still lost. I mean, you're going against Baltimore. And that was just a 3-point game. So, And then the next guy on the list, he must be a rookie as well. Nico Collins with Houston. 27.6 points.
I don't think he's a rookie. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I've never heard of his name before, so. Quickly wrapping this up, tight ends, Hawkinson with Minnesota, solid game.
I was surprised with that game. That was the one thing. Cousins was able to find Hawkinson a couple times in the end zone. Hawkinson actually had a really productive game.
Yep.
You know, if they stay with that and they can add to it, again, Minnesota's defense, they're just giving up points. You know what I mean? So that's tough.
I don't think Philly's looking that strong on offense or defense, but they're still finding a way this year. Number 2, Hunter Henry. I think he was on the list last week with New England. Mark Andrews, Baltimore, number 3. Darren Waller, pick up from Las Vegas for the Giants this year. He came in at number 4.
Yeah, he became a solid go-to for Daniel Jones there in the second half.
He was a solid go-to for Derek Carr last year,
Yeah,
last
he
couple
was.
of years.
Yep.
And then back on the list after missing week 1, the main man from KC.
Yep, he looked good. No, didn't look like anything was holding him back.
Nope. Kickers, this new guy in Dallas, Brandon Aubrey, 18 points. Jake Moody, San Francisco, 14. Young Ho Koo.
Yeah, my favorite name of all the football players, Young Hoku. As a matter of fact, I had a fantasy team a couple seasons ago called My Side Piece is a Young Ho. And he was my kicker.
There you have it.
Then the kid out of Carolina, Eddie Pinheiro, 13. And Elliott and Boswell with 12 points.
Right.
Pardon me.
Oof.
Saucy.
And then the defense. On the defense side, the Steelers, 26 points.
Well, yeah, the sloppy ass game like that, you got some lot of forced
2
fumbles,
defensive
a lot of-
touchdowns.
yeah,
2
a lot of
defensive touchdowns.
scoops.
And that second one was big, you know, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, they won the
that
game
was
on
a
that one.
sloppy game though, as far as ball handling.
I don't think they have a quarterback yet, Pittsburgh.
No,
Nope.
I mean,
I don't think Pickett's the guy.
no, I don't. Doesn't look like it.
No.
But they, the Browns were sloppy too with ball control. I mean,
I thought I
was-
was listening because
Well, dude, Deshaun Watson's been pretty sloppy with his balls. Have you not read the
Well,
news?
yeah.
I mean, come on now.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
fair, not
It's
exactly under control.
Going with the territory.
right. Shit's just kind of everywhere.
that was it. If I was a Cleveland fan right now, I'd be like, why would you give Mayfield away for Deshaun Watson? He had a couple of good years in Houston. He hasn't done anything.
Right.
He doesn't deserve $230 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
Like they just totally did Baker Mayfield wrong.
Yeah.
The guy was playing with a separated shoulder, non-throwing shoulder in his last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
To end the season,
Yeah. No, I agree.
I think that's bullshit.
All right, wrap up defense so that we can
Tampa Bay,
get home.
Cowboys, the Seahawks. That's a surprising one over Detroit. And then Kansas City and Washington.
Yep. Both died.
Man, there's some good games this weekend.
Yeah.
Overall, it was a good weekend of football.
So in terms of biggest upsets, I went against the spread again this year or this week. I don't know why I say this year all the time. Fucking dumb, I guess. Seattle was a 4.5 dog against Detroit, and they won.
I think that was probably the biggest upset when I look at the list of all of them.
Yeah.
Tennessee and the Chargers, that's maybe that one as well. But all those other games.
Yeah, the rest of them.
I mean, I guess honestly the biggest collapse, though, would have to be Denver with Washington coming back and winning that game.
Yeah, and Washington was a 4-point dog on that one, and
Yep.
they won by 2. Baltimore, surprisingly, was not the favorite. Cincinnati was in that game.
Yeah, that's surprising. So the result is not surprising. The
Right.
fact that they were the favorite is surprising. The other two,
Yeah.
I'm not really surprised.
No, not at all. And I guess getting into the next one, the biggest blowouts, Buffalo over Las Vegas. I didn't see that.
No, 28 points. That was a big one for
Yeah.
sure. All the rest of them, I think, Dallas winning wasn't.
Dallas being that big of a win, should it be a surprise after what we
Yeah, I
saw
don't think
last
so.
week? I don't think so.
As of right
don't
now,
think so,
no.
yeah.
Not now. Yeah.
Indy, they don't have a quarterback. They don't have a running back.
No.
That's interesting.
And they hung 31.
Tampa Bay, I guess Baker's back, right? We're claiming Baker's back right
he's
now.
redeemed.
So,
Come on, he's an Oklahoma guy, isn't
yeah.
he?
Oh, yeah. I love Baker, man. I always want him to do well.
And as far as Kansas City +8 over Jacksonville, the only thing that's surprising there is that it wasn't bigger.
And 17-9.
Yeah, that they didn't really
Like,
hang
was the
points.
defense good on Jacksonville? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, that's not.
I
that's
can
not
understand
Kansas
them not
City
putting.
firing on
They
all
only put
cylinders.
9 points up on KC, but
right.
for
That's
KC
not
to
KC's
only-
offense
Yeah.
firing on all cylinders. No way.
makes no sense to me. But hey, it's week 2, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we're all still learning.
All right, closest game. This is one I think I got over you, both of you. Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
Yeah. I took Green Bay, but you and Chris both.
Yeah, I was going to say, I
Atlanta.
think I took Atlanta.
Yeah. Squeaked out a 1-point win.
That was the only 1-point game this week, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, and then the next one was Washington over Denver. It was a 2-point game. And then you got 4 games at 3 points.
Yeah. Some close games.
Yeah. I don't know. Looking at the schedule, was anybody surprised by anything out there?
No, not really. I mean, even Green Bay, Atlanta, to be the 1-point game, it didn't surprise me. And Jordan Love kind of surprised us all last week by playing well. Not quite as well this week, but
Yeah.
to lose it by 1, it's kind of par for what I expected. I mean, I picked Green Bay, obviously, so I thought they would.
I think maybe the only one I would say is Seattle and Detroit. But there was a bunch of games that went into overtime again this week, so I think that was one of them.
Yeah, obviously,
And,
Seattle, Detroit bit all of us. So did Tennessee beating the Chargers. That
was an
that's-
overtime game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are the only 2 that got all of us tripped up. So. Okay.
All right.
All right.
You want to pull up? Let's just quickly look and finish off NFL. And
Okay.
what's this week's schedule looking like? Because I think there could be a few game changers this week. I
Yeah,
already
and
made my
I was
picks.
going to say, I have not made my picks
Yeah,
this
I
week.
have not either. So
Thursday night game.
Giants Niners.
Do we want to run through and do picks now, or are we just kind of like?
Just look at them
Let's
and
just
see.
look
I
through
mean,
here and-
I picked San Francisco.
Yeah, I probably would too on that one.
What out of this week? What are the most interesting looking games on the schedule so far? Is
Well,
there
the next
anything that
one-
jumps out.
Baltimore at Indy. It's going to be Baltimore. Miami, Denver. That's going to be Miami. Toss up. The Patriots and the Jets.
I think New England wins their first one. In
I
that
think I picked them too.
Probably.
Yeah. Jacksonville's going to beat Houston.
one. I think Tennessee might take. I'm going to take Tennessee.
Yeah, I think I did take Tennessee on that one over
I think.
Cleveland.
I think Detroit, Atlanta,
I think
Atlanta.
that could be an interesting game.
I think I'll probably end up taking Detroit in that one.
Yeah.
I don't think Atlanta goes 3-0. If they do, well, that's even more surprising.
New Orleans Green
I-
Bay could be a good game too.
I took Detroit over Atlanta on that one, and then I got New Orleans over Green Bay.
Yep.
I got Buffalo over Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Chargers over Minnesota. It's a 0-2 teams.
Yep.
2 of them.
The battles of the defeateds.
Somebody's gonna get their first
Mhm.
win.
Somebody's gonna get their
Somebody's
first.
O has to go.
Yeah. oh.
Seattle and Carolina. I'll take Seattle on that one. Kansas City and Chicago. I'll take Kansas City on that one.
Yeah.
Dallas and Arizona.
Arizona's gonna get
Gotta go with
crushed.
Dallas in that one.
You know,
Arizona's gonna get crushed.
Man,
that,
and we
that first week when we were like, oh, we got to pick Arizona every
Yeah,
game,
we're
and we're
not
never.
picking against. We're not picking Dallas. Yeah. No. That's
Nah,
that's
I
out
picked
the window.
Dallas.
And I tell you
Sorry.
what, man, when you talk about the crowd, man, you think the Giants fan
Yeah.
travel
one that
well?
Travels well.
I mean,
Cowboys
the
fan.
Cowboys, especially being 2-0 and being with the way they've looked these first 2 weeks.
Well, most of them live here because
Yeah,
back in the 90s.
Yeah, I mean,
There
this
was
was
no
this was
Arizona-
Cowboys territory, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the same thing growing up for me being in Oklahoma. That was always Cowboys territory. You had some Chiefs fans, but it was mostly Cowboys fans. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Dallas Cowboys back then were just an extension almost of OU football. You know, the way it was looked at, which fucking was weird because my dad was a Cowboys fan and my mom was a Giants fan, and I took the Giants.
Yeah, it's going to be a heartbreaker watching that game. What's the points on that? 12
yeah.
on the spread.
Yeah.
You know what?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's going to be 21.
Yeah, I was gonna say that has the makings of blowout written all over it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Just the way things have played out, and especially if Arizona collapses again. If they have, what's worse though in that game? What's worse, a bad first half or a bad second half? I don't think it really matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just got to wonder what Arizona team's coming out of the locker room
Yep.
for that game. I mean,
Yeah,
it could be close in the
confidence.
first half, and then Dallas could run away in the
And
second.
is Arizona the home team?
Yes.
Yep.
We're definitely losing.
Yep. So I mean, it's gonna be 60-40 on the fans, if not 70-30 Dallas. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's gonna be a rough one. I think that defense is no joke. They get after the quarterback, and what is one thing Arizona doesn't have that's great right now? An offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have a lot of things that are great right now, but
Right.
you're trying to stop Micah Parsons and the rest of those fucking hell demons they have on their fucking defense. It's gonna be a tough day.
And then you got Pittsburgh and Vegas as your Sunday night game. That's going to be a good game.
I got Pittsburgh.
I think so.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. No, you know what?
Just
I'm gonna
on their
take,
defense.
I'm gonna take Tampa Bay.
It's Vegas.
It's Vegas.
Oh, I'm
Pittsburgh
sorry. I was
Vegas.
looking at. Sorry, I looked down at. I saw Philadelphia, and I just looked over. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Man, does Pittsburgh ever not get to play in primetime?
All the time.
Yeah, because were they the Thursday night game on week 1? No, they
No,
were.
that
was
was
Kansas
Kansas
City.
City.
that's
That was
the-
right. Kansas City and Detroit.
Yeah. I think Pitt on that one.
All right, so then let's talk about this real quick. Why does ESPN keep hitting us with these 2 goddamn Monday night games an hour apart?
I don't know.
It's so frustrating. Look, this week was all East Coast teams. That was kind of dumb. Make one of the games a West Coast game and have it start 2.5 hours after the first one. You know what I mean? I know that's late
Yeah,
for
but
East Coast people,
They're
but
both in the Eastern time zone again this week.
I know. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying. Why are they doing this? This makes it
They
hard
just like to double dip on
consume.
the ratings, you know.
Yeah, I mean they're taking ABC and ESPN, but they're fighting with themselves. I struggled last night with what game I wanted to watch when.
But you know what? I don't think they look at it as like fighting with themselves, honestly, because chances are most people are going to record one, watch the first one, and then go to the second one. If it's a blowout, then you just switch to the second one,
Right.
anyways. You know
Marry
what I
one,
mean?
kill one, fuck one.
Yeah, I think they're trying to marry, fuck, and kill all the same too. Right. You know what I mean? And with that,
Yeah.
Station identification time.
when the mountains are blue, it's time for you to sit back, relax, and enjoy your favorite pod show, The Dick Show
Why are
Live.
you saying pod show now
Previously recorded.
instead of podcast?
Because I can say whatever I want.
All right.
Hey guys, it's the pod show.
So yeah, those 2 games this week being Philly, Tampa, and the Rams and the Bengals. The Bungles.
I'll take Philly. And what did I take? I think I took the Rams. I took the Rams.
See,
That's
I-
a surprising team to me again this year.
I think Cincinnati gets out of their rut on that one.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually I am not gonna put a pick in on that one yet because I just don't know. My heart leaning immediately says Cincinnati. You know what I mean? But I'm also not really surprised that the Rams are 1-1. Their offenses look pretty good. Stafford's been throwing the ball around. That rookie Pakua Nakua or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Puka.
Yeah, Puka. Puka's look good.
And then their running back.
Yeah.
Kyrene Williams.
So yeah, they had the number 2
And I
running
think
back
they're,
and wide
they're
receiver
running
this
their
week.
number 1
So,
running back, Cam Akers, is on the block. I think they're getting rid of him.
Yeah,
I think he got benched on Sunday.
it's not a surprise. They benched him last year too,
Yeah.
and then they found his way back in towards the end, but it wasn't consistent. And that
Yeah, I think
is
that
the end of NFL, huh?
wraps us up on NFL. So we'll jump over to college football real quick and just kind of quickly go through that. This past week, I took the win in college, edging out Chris and Kelly both by one pick. They both went 22-2, and I managed to go 23-1. And that Mizzou pick that I made last week over Kansas State is what got me over the hump there on you guys.
So that's it.
I knew just something. I knew that was going to be a close game, and for that to end on Mizzou kicking a 61-yard field goal to win it was wild to watch.
Yep.
Thank God I have the SEC network, because I was glad I was able to sit and enjoy that.
I watched it on ESPN Plus, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I'm excited about is now we get into some meaningful games.
Conference games are starting.
Yeah,
Yeah, we start conference play. You start some of these bigger matchups.
Yep.
You know, like I'm really excited, like you said, for these next few weeks coming into really the meat and bones or meat of the schedule, right? You know, you get past all the little fucking
the
fluff.
fluffer games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only other game on there that tripped us all up was Tennessee getting beat by Florida, which that was kind of a surprise.
That was a toss-up for me. I almost picked Florida just being at home. And Florida, same thing. They're up and down. They look like they could be good, but they're just inconsistent. And they're able to get the job done at home.
I mean, Tennessee was only a 5-point favorite, though. So is it really that big of an upset?
When you lose by 13, it is.
Well, but still.
and it's in conference too, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, that's a difficult game. SEC is always, they always put tough games up, it seems like. So
some of the things I made some notes on here, and I didn't give them to you guys because I want them to be my notes. Florida State, number 3, 31-29 over Boston College.
Boston
And
College,
Boston College was plus 26 points on the spread.
and they had a nice little comeback there towards the end. They made it real close.
So that was
Yeah, made it a 2-point game.
Florida State being minus 26 and only winning by 2.
And I think Florida State's a team that, in my opinion, is a real good shot at getting the national championship game.
Yeah, I was going to ask that question. If they're sitting at 3, do you think they can hang on to that?
I think so.
To make the playoff.
I think their toughest schedule that they're going to have, or their toughest game that they'll probably have on their schedule towards the end of the season or whenever, is Clemson. Right? They get through that. If they win the ACC, even if they lose against Clemson with one loss, as strong as they are, I still think they have a really good shot at being in the Final Four, as long as they win the ACC. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
then
I like Florida State this season. I don't like them, but I like them.
Right.
number 1 Georgia, they were 26.5 points favorites over South Carolina, and they only won by 10.
So Georgia has been not to say that's a surprise that they won the game, right? But yeah, they struggled a little bit there. But
Did they though, or were they on second string, third string
Yeah.
guys at that point?
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, it's hard to get up for every
'Cause
game.
I didn't watch that
and this
game.
is a game that's kind of a coast game anyways, you know what I mean? So they're not playing their hardest, but winning back-to-back already and trying to go for 3 in a row, every game is going to be a little bit more pressure-filled as you get down the schedule. I expect Georgia to have quite a few tight games this year. Games that you wouldn't think are tight are going to be tight,
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch that one.
And
so
I
don't
didn't
know
either.
what
I didn't get to see any
how
of the
that
Georgia game.
became what it became.
Now, Bama.
That could have been 24-0 at halftime and then coasting from that point on.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's next on my list.
Yeah.
Alabama
Yep.
was a 36.5 point favorite
And won 17
over
to
the University of South Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and they only won by 14.
And
17-3.
And the score at halftime was 3-3, or was it 6-3? I think it was
Can't
3-3. I think it was 3-3 at halftime, and then they ended up winning the second half basically.
Right.
So you're talking about one of the perennial blue bloods of the SEC,
Yeah.
just always
Saving.
there consistently against South Florida.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
The Golden Bulls.
Not even UCF,
Yeah. 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 So they're having some quarterback issues. They switched quarterbacks. He started the game, then they benched him and brought in the other quarterback. Got the job done, but man, that's scary. Quarterback play is so important in every game nowadays. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And then the last one on my list here, Colorado. They did win.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Colorado State, but they beat them by only 8 points, and they were 18.5 points favored.
And that game was close. I mean, I watched most of that game.
And
that
here's
was-
an
that was a
interesting
good game.
thing:
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter is injured, and he'll be out for 3 to 4 weeks.
Yep. That's significant for them. I mean, Shadur Sanders has so far looked the part as a big time quarterback.
Yeah.
But you take away Travis Hunter, now we'll see.
And not only that, they have a ranked game this week.
Yep.
They play Oregon, who's 3-0
Yep.
with them. And
then-
you take away their best weapon on defense and offense. Honestly, like, what do they do this week?
And Dan Lanning comes from Georgia. You know, he was the defensive coordinator on the first of the last 2 national championships, the first of the back-to-backs. And he was a D coordinator for a few years before that with Georgia. So he's coming in and bringing that kind of mentality to Oregon. It's not surprising that they're 3-0. Again, hasn't been much really to show for it as far as tight or tough games. But I think this is a game that Colorado could end up losing. And I wouldn't be surprised, you know.
Right.
I think
Oregon's favored by 21 in this game.
by 21.
Yeah.
I think it'll be tighter than that. I think
without
Colorado
Hunter?
beats the spread. Yeah, I think so. I still
Yeah?
think they can do it. I still think they beat the spread, but I don't think they lose. I mean, I don't think they win. I think Oregon wins for sure. I think Oregon and Utah and USC, those are the Colorado games that they're going to have the biggest trouble, obviously. And USC, I don't know.
Yeah. So the only other game notable for us as Arizona folks is ASU getting goose-egged by Fresno State,
Mollywopped.
29-0
Yeah.
at home. First time they have been shut out at home since 1988.
8 turnovers.
Yeah.
They had 8 turnovers. I think I heard a stat.
They went through 3 quarterbacks.
That got hurt.
Yeah.
Yep. I think I heard a stat that the Phoenix Suns last year had like 6 games where they had less than 8 turnovers in a game.
And we're talking about basketball.
We're talking about
where it's a lot easier to have the turnovers.
Basketball.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Fresno State's 3-0 though. So what
Yeah,
division are
but
they in?
they're
Is that
they're-
is that the Mountain West?
I couldn't even tell you what that is, honestly. I don't know if they're Mountain West or if they're,
Whack.
WAC. I think they're WAC. I want to say WAC,
maybe.
but that's just crazy. And I really feel like, what the fuck is this going to do for Dillingham? Like, just the way the season's playing out already.
Yeah, and from a recruiting perspective, from everything. Is he gonna be a guy that's on the chopping block after one season?
And they were so fucking high on him coming into the year, which I like him too, man. Like, listening to his interviews and just everything. Sorry about that. Moved the microphone a little bit. Had a pop. But, yeah, man, like, I feel bad for him because he comes into the job, he gets that announcement right on the eve of the fucking season with the bowl ban. You don't expect that. That's going to hurt recruiting. Now your team is playing the way they're playing. That doesn't look good for recruiting. You don't have a quarterback right now that's healthy. That's not good for recruiting. Like, what are they going to do? Are they going to start
he
having
let
tryouts?
a good one get away in the transfer portal.
Yeah, a couple seasons ago,
Yeah.
you know, which isn't a surprise. I'm not surprised that Jaden Daniels left when he
Right,
did. You know what I mean? I would have done the same.
Yeah, well, get out from under all the drama and all that. Yeah,
You know, like, what?
and go be able to play a bowl game.
You want to play for Herm Edwards, you know?
Yeah,
And Ray Anderson's the real problem, though. I think that's the bigger issue here. It's glaring through all the stuff we've seen already, and the one constant that's still there is Ray Anderson. How the fuck he still has a job, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That doesn't make any fucking sense to me whatsoever.
Right. Yep. So I think that's it for college football.
Wow, pull up the schedule for this week. There's some interesting games this week.
Yeah, this week we start getting into the good shit.
Yeah. So week 4? Yeah, it's week 4. We start out with Oklahoma.
Oh. I will be
against
taking
Cincinnati.
Oklahoma. But Cincinnati, a couple years ago were a playoff team. Now, granted, I think that was a fluke run, but Cincinnati has been playing better football in the last 3 seasons.
I agree.
And so going on the road for Oklahoma, their first road game.
Being 14-point favorites.
Second road game, but at Cincinnati, it's a conference game, 14-point favorites.
UCLA, Utah, a couple ranked teams going at it there.
I think Oklahoma wins.
Yeah.
Well, number 2 on the list there, Florida State
and
versus
Clemson.
Clemson.
So that's the game I was thinking. I didn't know it was that early in the season, right?
Yep.
So here we go. And this is even more of a thing. If Clemson does win that game, which they can, if they do, Florida State still has the whole year to get back,
come back
to being, because they won't drop much. Clemson would just get back into the top 25. That loss that they had was a horrible looking loss. But, it's so early in the season, you never know.
2.5-point favorites.
And that's the thing, a 2.5-point game.
A ranked
Versus
team,
an
number
unranked.
4 versus an unranked. That's got to be ludicrous for that point spread.
That's going to be a hell of a betting game right there, man.
Yeah. Michigan, Rutgers, they're both 3-0.
Harbaugh's coming back. He'll be back on the sidelines for Michigan. I don't think that's going to matter. I think that's going to be a blowout.
That's a big notable game.
That should be a
I
blowout.
don't think that is.
UCLA and Utah, both 3-0. That's
Utah, but I'm taller. I think I got Utah on that one.
I think I picked Utah as well.
Yeah. As far as notables, you got Mississippi, Alabama.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, Jackson Dart for Ole Miss has looked really good. That's this kid that whenever he transferred, where did he transfer from USC? There are a lot of schools that are going after him. Oklahoma looked at him. Alabama was talking to possibly picking him up. Florida, Tennessee. There were quite a few schools, but he ended up selecting.
Mississippi?
Yeah, he took Ole Miss, and they've looked good this year. They've looked really good.
Colorado, Oregon, we already talked a little bit about that one.
19 versus 10.
Yeah.
And a 21
And a
point
21
favorite.
point. Yep. Another notable, Oregon State, Washington State. They're kind of lower in the ranking poll, but that's always a good game. It's a rivalry right there. So it's
I think
only
Oregon
a 3-point
State.
spread for
Yeah,
Oregon
I took
State.
Oregon State.
What else? Texas, Baylor. That you never know. Baylor get up for Texas whenever they play them.
And I like Dave Aranda, the coach for Baylor. He's done a good job of changing that culture around, getting things kind of back to some normalcy after Art Briles and that debacle. Again,
you think
though,
that 15-point spread's fair?
I
think it's a little high.
I would say the same thing.
Baylor gets up for Texas.
In-state game,
Yeah.
in-conference game. Baylor, Texas is one of those teams everybody's going to be playing for, especially in conference. Texas teams, so.
Yep. And then you got Ohio State and Notre Dame at 6 and a 9 going at it with a 1-point spread for Ohio State.
Now that doesn't surprise me either, just because Ohio State, as good as they are, Ryan Day, I don't know if he's as good as he is as a coach because it's Ohio State or because he's a good coach. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of times these are the types of games where Ohio State struggles. So with Ryan Day as a head coach anyways,
Yeah. And then another ranked game, but I think that's an easy pick, is Penn State and Iowa. I think all of us would pick Penn State on that one.
Yep, both 3-0.
Yeah. And then Arizona State gets an opportunity to let USC points pad their points for.
35 points.
35 points.
That's
spread.
insane.
Yeah.
Not a surprise.
Not a surprise.
I would take UFC
I was thinking
in the
about
points.
going to this game too,
Yeah.
and maybe the last time they played for a long time, being old Pac-12 rivals, that this is it.
It's
They're
true.
both gone to different divisions or different conferences, so
Yep.
I thought about it, but it may not be fun to go to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and actually, honestly, Arizona State, that spread, I might put $5 towards it just on the spread.
thinking Arizona State can cover it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
might.
Yeah.
They might.
I don't. I'm not buying it.
That depends on whether USC takes their foot off the gas once they've got their 24-point
Exactly,
lead.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
they score 30 early, you know what I mean? That game's over.
Yeah.
You know, so
And then the garbage time touchdowns start happening.
get 2 field goals. That's all you need.
Right. So, anyway, all right. So that's college football.
It's getting good.
It's getting good. It's
getting good.
starting to pick up pace now. So here we go. But as far as these picks and stuff, again, we mention it every week. You guys, anybody out there wants to join one of our pools, just hit a comment in the YouTube link or shoot us a message, and we'll get you added.
Yeah, the more the better,
we
right?
want more competition in here. Us having 23 to 22 game, win weeks. We got a tight battle going. We need some.
Yeah, but that's the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, those are the easy weeks. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we want some more competition. Feel free to message us, and we'll be happy to get you in. With that note, I think that's about it for this week, boys.
No.
How's that?
We got America's favorite
Well, yeah, that's what I meant.
segment
That's what I meant.
in the history of segments
We're gonna
on the interweb.
We're gonna bring you the excitement of Bush of the Week in just a moment. And we're back. So it's time for Bush of the Week, as we mentioned. And Chris, what does that sound mean?
That sound means it is time for America's favorite subject, Bush of the Week.
All right.
You need the crowd
So
cheer
yeah,
too.
you need to
Yeah, all right.
All right. Bush of the Week. All right. Chris and Kelly get so excited for this part.
Oh, man.
I do absolutely no homework. I like to just sit here and laugh and enjoy the show, and then throw out a vote at the end. That's my favorite part. So the topic, or what do we call it? I don't think you call it a topic. I think you call it the subject matter or the choice.
The
Yeah.
theme of the week, right?
Yeah.
The theme for
There
Bush
you
of the
go.
Week this
The
week
theme.
was Jennifer, right?
Jennifer's. Okay.
We have to
So-
nominate Jennifer's.
And we've got a lot of nominations this week. Too many, in my opinion, but we're going to run through them, and we'll see what happens. I noticed that Chris did not bring stat sheets this week, which surprises me. a little
No,
bit.
So it's not going to be as funny.
Yeah,
You
might
know,
not be.
there's just so many Jennifers out there, guys. You know, this was a hard one, but
Ink cartridge low.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can only do so much research.
See, we can still make it funny.
Exactly, I can only do so much research. You know,
Okay.
strong
right.
like bull. Just remember
So-
that.
So we're going to...
So in no particular order.
no particular order, but I think the first one that we had pulled
I
up.
think we should save her for like not the first one though.
Okay. Let's start here.
Yeah, let's start there. That's a good start.
We're going to start... The first one is Jennifer Lawrence. That's the first nominee.
So this stunning beauty is
Yeah. As the highest paid actress in the world in 2015 and 16, and with her films grossing over $5.5 billion worldwide, Jennifer Lawrence is often cited as the most successful actress of her generation.
See, he does have his homework. It's
She's
just on
also
his
the
phone.
first person born in the 90s to have won an acting Oscar, just so you know that.
All right. All right. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not
I
bad.
mean, so what? Most notable is probably the Hunger Games.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, she's also been in like Silver Linings Playbook. I don't know if you guys saw American Hustle.
Yep.
That was a pretty good movie. I like that.
Passengers, where
Yeah,
she was
Passengers,
on that
right, yep.
spaceship one with Chris Pratt.
Yep. As well as being an X-Men back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah,
Sure,
she
yeah.
was the young Mystique.
Yes.
Yep.
Hot Mystique.
Very hot Mystique. All
Got
right.
A little bit of my Mystique on.
All right.
on-
All right.
On that
Let's
movie.
Well, the next one we've got.
No, you got to save her too.
Oh, Jesus, guys.
Skip.
Yeah. That's the. Yeah, for sure. All right.
We got to save that one, too.
Saving
All
the
right.
best for last.
Okay. And if that's the case, then we're going to start with your nominees down here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. We should have gone in reverse order here.
Probably.
Yeah. All right, Kelly. This is one of yours.
Right. That was just just to fill out the list. It
Okay.
was just
Okay, well, who is it? Tell us.
her
about
name
her.
is Jennifer Esposito, and she has. I think she was on that show with. Was it Michael J. Fox? Where they're at the City Hall show.
Oh, that Spin City?
Spin City.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Way
yeah,
back
yeah.
in the day. Is that what? That's what she's from?
Well,
That's-
I
that's-
think
that's-
so. I
that's
mean, you
old.
can
I mean-
pull it up.
We're not doing the research on the fly.
I'm waiting for Chris to pull.
Yeah, I was
something
gonna
up.
say this is actually one that stumped me. So I gotta. I don't have any information.
All right, well,
on
we'll
Jennifer
just skip
Esposito.
that.
We'll move on to the next one.
The next one, Sylvester Stallone's wife, Jennifer Flavin. Now, if you go back from pictures in the 80s and 90s, and probably even now, she's got that, because he's got that reality show on Paramount. Growing Up Stallone or something. You guys watch that?
Haven't seen that. No.
His daughters are hot.
The only time I've ever seen them is the Paramount commercial where they're talking about the north face of the mountain, the west face, and then the Stallone face. And Sly's climbing it, his own face, and then it sneezes and blows him off.
I haven't seen that.
They're in that.
I haven't seen that
commercial.
either.
Yeah. All right.
So that was one.
Okay. And then we've got
No, you got to go to the next one.
we're-
There you go. Stifler's mom
Stifler's
Jennifer
mom.
Coolidge.
has got it
Stifler's
going
mom.
on.
Just has to be on the list.
Yeah.
Has to be
MILF.
an off.
MILF.
Mhm. She's older, but yeah, she's. I totally forgot about Jennifer Coolidge, as a matter of fact, until you had mentioned her.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see her. There was a thing when, back in American Pie, she was kind of hot. She had it going on for sure.
Yeah.
American Pie. She was in the Legally
Oh,
Blonde
Finchy.
movies. She was in.
I like
All kinds of
my
stuff.
boys. I like my scotch.
Let's
18
see.
years old.
Mm-hmm.
Best known for American Pie, I would think.
Next one,
Oh,
Next
what are
one.
we on to? J-Lo, huh?
the woman who insured her ass for what, $10 million? Something like that.
How crazy is
You
that?
mentioned this to me, and I had no idea that this was a thing.
It was.
What was or is?
Well, I don't know if it's still. I don't know if they'll still insure it, but for being 50, she's still
Yeah,
got that Latino heat.
Well, she and what's her name did the Super Bowl a couple years ago. Both looked good then. Shakira.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the halftime show.
Yeah. Mamacita.
Man, she's, she started out, she was a fly girl on In Living Color,
Yep.
way back in the day. Rosie Perez actually was the choreographer on that show. Did you know that?
True story.
Did not-
Mm-hmm. And then she was a backup dancer for Janet Jackson as well at one point before she made her own career going on.
Now, I nominated, also from the 80s, Jennifer Grey, and you guys poo-pooed it.
Yeah.
I'm like, nobody
I
puts
mean-
baby in a corner, right?
Baby's not
But
such
she was
a baby
in-
anymore.
She was in Red Dawn. Amazing movie.
That baby has flown.
All right, so now the heavy hitters.
So
These are the ones that I think have the best chance of winning the week. We're gonna work our way through these. All right.
okay.
The next Jennifer is gonna be Jennifer Garner.
Yep. And
Number 2 on the list that is had Ben Affleck's dick inside her.
yeah, man, he's
At least the
he's-
second one, right?
He's
For some
he
reason,
likes
I
those
feel like
Jennifers.
we've had this conversation.
we talked
had
about it
last
Friday.
week when
We talked about it.
Yeah.
We talked about it a little bit Friday. Ben has a thing for those Jennifers. He has 2 different iterations of Bennifer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Fun
Ageless.
fact about Jennifer Garner, I have held her breast milk in my hand. And,
Oh, she owns that company, right?
well, no, that's not
Wait,
why.
What?
Yep.
What?
Yeah. The breast milk or she owns that company.
All of the above.
Okay.
What?
Oh, no, it's somebody else that has a breast milk company.
So whenever I worked at a restaurant, I won't say the name of it just because, but I worked at a restaurant, and at the time, her and Bennifer were staying out here. He was filming a movie, and they were staying out at the resort that I was working at. She was pregnant at the time with their kid, or she had just had their kids. So they had the baby up there with them. Well, she had to pump and store the breast milk, and we kept that in our walk-in at the kitchen. So, yes, I have held Jennifer Garner's breast milk in my hands.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
That's
It's a weird story.
that's a interesting claim to fame.
I know, right?
Ageless woman, though.
Mhm.
She never seems to age. All right. Next one on the list. We're going to go with Jennifer Connelly.
Yep. She looked really good in Maverick.
Oh yeah, she did.
She looked really
looked
good
good in
in
everything.
my favorite movie was Blood Diamond with Leo.
Oh yeah,
She
I forgot that she was in that.
She
movie,
looked really good in that
actually, yeah.
movie.
Yep.
But I got to rule her out now because she's so veiny. Like, no, if you look at pictures, like, I don't, it's a thing. I don't like women that have like veins popping out everywhere. And she's really skinny and petite. It's just not my thing.
My suggestion would be stop pissing them off then. Because that's what makes them veins pop out.
Dude, you remember the Rocketeer?
No.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't.
she was in
She
the
was in
Rocketeer.
Rocketeer.
Yeah, that's
she
crazy.
was in the newer iteration of The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Requiem for a Dream,
Mm-hmm.
which that was another movie back in the day. A Beautiful Mind.
With Russell Crowe.
Hulk. Yeah, she's
I think the first time I saw her was in a movie called Career Opportunities. It's like a late 80s, early 90s movie. It's where you'd have to pull it up, but she gets locked in like a Target overnight and they get robbed. And so she's on like the little horse and she's riding it. And this scene where it's like kind of bucking her.
That's an interesting premise.
Yeah. You'd have to look that up.
You know, I'm pretty sure Lily Carter was in a movie that was similar to that.
All right. Moving on then. The next Jennifer.
This was a good one.
We're getting into my top threes.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of until you brought it up, but Jenny McCarthy, huh?
Yeah.
Former Babe Watch girl.
We all remember her from
Playboy.
Yeah. That
Numerous
too.
times.
I was going to say her years at MTV as a VJ and hosting, what was the dating show? Oh, man.
Well, she's on The Masked Singer now, and she
Yeah.
still looks good. Married to
The dating game.
Married to
Donnie
Donnie
Wal-
Wahlberg.
Donnie
She's
Wahlberg.
Jenny McCarthy Wahlberg. She's a Wahlburger now.
Oh, boy.
She's a Wallbanger.
There you go.
she's
I mean,
We all remember
she's
her.
still
Yeah,
got it
from
though, right?
Playboy.
Yep.
She's still got it. And she was one of the ones, there's sometimes now where she may even look better than she did back in the day. And she was phenomenal back in the day,
Yep.
you know?
All right.
she dated Brian Urlacher. Remember that?
I don't remember that. No,
yeah,
she
yeah.
dated quite a few.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, I do remember that one.
Yeah.
Jim
do remember
Carrey's
that
had some
one.
good kills in his life, too. I mean, I shouldn't.
You shouldn't say that
Hang
because
on. Yeah. Now,
Body count.
Yeah.
Where are
no.
the bodies? Where are the bodies, Jim?
In hindsight, that was not the right phrase to use.
no,
I'll
it was
accept
because
it.
it fits in line with the title of the show.
I'll accept it. I'll allow it.
We're dicks and we're on the interweb.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next one.
All right.
Jennifer
I know what you
Love.
did last summer.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah.
Man. Back in the day, I would put her probably at the top back in the day. That
Best
was,
pop.
yep.
She's 44, so I think I'd put her pretty close to the top right now.
Yeah, I mean,
She's in a lot of Hallmark movies, so my wife watches Hallmark movies.
So you've
so
seen her a lot recently.
she's like, "Do you want me to change it?" I'm like, "No, I'm just gonna be on my phone. I'll do whatever. You just watch it away." Then I get to watch her and not say I want to watch it.
Right. So that's how you're cheating the system, huh?
Yeah, but
right.
now I can't do that because my wife is definitely gonna listen to the show.
Yeah, you're busted.
Yeah.
All right. And then our last nominee, Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston.
How could that not be on the list?
I'll
right?
be there for you.
You want to talk about another ageless person?
You know what? And she never wore a bra during that show. Did you know
noticed?
that? Yeah. Did you know that? No, she never wore a bra.
Pretty sure none of them did.
During the whole filming of that show. But Jennifer Aniston, I mean, timeless wonder, right?
Yep.
She's so good in so many Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah,
recently,
I mean, they've
Horrible
definitely,
Bosses. Where
Horrible
she's-
Bosses is
Oh,
hilariously hot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Like funny hot.
out of character for her.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, well, same when she did We Are the Millers,
Yes.
right?
Yep, that
Kind
was good.
of out of character too.
The breakup.
The breakup is
With Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, that's a great movie, but that is a You have to be in the right place
Yeah.
in your life to
Yeah.
watch that movie and not feel some kind of way.
Yeah,
You know
for sure.
what I mean?
for sure. But
If
I think
if you're in a similar situation, that movie will mess you up.
that's one of my favorite versions of Jennifer Aniston is the breakup. I think that iteration of her. I mean, she's still got it. Or, it's hard to say any iteration of Jennifer Aniston is a bad one.
You know,
what I
if
mean?
if you had to rate one person out of the 6 that broke the Friends mold and was able to really climb up to doing just about anything, she has to be the number 1 person out of that group.
Yeah, I would think so.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I
I
agree.
mean, she was nominated or named Woman of the Year one time by GQ magazine.
yeah.
Not only that, she has definitely held her spot as a movie star or an A-lister. You know what I mean? She's been there
Yep.
and will continue to be there.
And at 54 years old, still looks amazing.
Gosh, still amazing. for
And
sure.
probably will at 64 and 70, and we'll see what happens.
You know, I think eventually we're going to get down to a point where we're going to have the contenders or the champions going against each other of Bush of the Week. And I think Jennifer Aniston potentially could be one of the all-timers when it comes to Bush of the Week.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
I mean,
So you,
for sure.
Calling
you're
that
gonna
shot
put her
early.
up against Lily Carter?
I mean,
How
when
would-
we
how
get
would
to
she
this
fare?
point, I don't know. When we get to this point, that's going to be a battle. You know what I mean?
That's going to have to be like a 16 round or 16 qualifier knockout round type tree. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. It might even get to an expansive like fucking NCAA. We might have 64 bitches up in that shit.
No, we're not going. We're not. That would be
The
an
There might be
Sweet
playing
16.
games.
No, there's what you do is you start it with 16, and then one week you do 8 matches. The next week you do 4. The next week you do 2. You know,
Yep.
kind of like a
Yep.
drag race.
Yeah, we should wait till March to do that.
Yeah,
Oh, that could be a good March Madness.
64 of them.
It's
March
just like
Madness
That's
Bush
a
of the Week.
bracket to fill out right there.
last week we did best football movies. We gotta wait for like World Series to do like best baseball movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, true.
For sure.
something like that.
Oh,
You gotta
yeah.
keep it in the right time frame.
All right,
And
well,
just
let's
so everybody knows, The Sandlot is way up on that list.
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. But let's wrap this up. Let's get our votes in and
All right.
let's close it out.
Man, yeah, again, after all this talk, I got to say my nominee for Bush of the Week is Jennifer Aniston.
All right, so Chris goes Aniston. Kelly, it's your up.
I go Jenny McCarthy.
Ooh.
I gotta throw it up there. And I know you were pretty high on Jennifer Love.
Yeah, I mean, also Jennifer Garner for me. I think Jennifer Aniston and Jennifer Garner is a heavyweight battle right there.
I mean, it's tough. There's 3 or 4 of them that could take the 1 or 2 on this
Yeah,
one. You know what I
yeah.
mean? I mean, they could all take it
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
I agree. I agree. But all that said, I think that I am going to side with Chris on this one. Jennifer Aniston just can't be beat. Just can't.
All right.
And Garner is a second for me, like a very, very close one.
So
So we have
we've got a winner. Congratulations, Jennifer Aniston. You are our Bush of the Week. Hey.
There you go.
Oh, if you hold it.
Yeah,
hold
she
it
gets
down.
she gets a long applause, you know.
Yeah. Well deserved. Well deserved. Especially after Horrible Bosses twice.
Right?
All right, guys. Well, that's all we have for you this week.
Well, I just want to put it out and get some votes. If people are actually listening, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button.
Like, subscribe, share, please. You know,
Yep.
we're gonna try to get some more, like, get polls out for Bush of the Week and do some other fun stuff.
Yeah.
Make your comments.
join the
now,
pools, make
and
comments.
We'll review your picks.
Yep. And then we
And I'm going to throw it out there. We're going to go next week, Bush of the Week.
Oh, you've already made a decision.
Hottest.
Without conferring.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a challenge. You got to research.
I'm not going to. You know
Yeah,
this.
you will, because you'll be watching TV all weekend. Hottest sportscasters.
Oh, sportscasters.
Ooh,
all right.
okay, I
All
like
right.
that.
I like this. Yeah, that's going to be a good theme for sure.
Okay.
Just put it on there.
Sportscasters.
If you guys are listening, put your votes down.
And the Gmail. What's our Gmail?
The dckshowlive@gmail.com.
Send
Perfect.
us
DCK Show
Send
Live.
us you guys who you think are the hottest sportscasters. Send us pics. Send us whatever, man. Give us topics, all sorts of shit. Let's go.
Yep.
If you guys want to fucking listen, that's fine. But help us out.
And
Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
We're willing to talk about anything. We
Yeah.
need more wrestling on this show.
Yeah,
we
let's
need
make-
more.
you know-
we need more UFC.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Also-
we need more. you
Also,
know?
we do plan on starting to release some short content, some 2-minute, 3-minute, 5-minute stuff that you guys can listen to. So just be watching for that. And if you hit the subscribe button, you'll know when those come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, more topics. Give
Yeah.
us top 3 golf movies or something.
that'd
you
be
know,
a
like
good
whatever,
one.
you
something
know?
that
Shit.
makes us do
Well,
a
hell,
little
the
work
Ryder
here.
Cup's next week. Maybe isn't it? Or is it this weekend?
I don't know.
It's not, I don't think it's this weekend.
We'll have to look at that. That may be a topic for that week, though.
Tin Cup.
Yeah. Anyway,
Caddyshack.
all right, guys, we're gonna close it out, and we'll catch you next week. Have fun.
All right. Cheers.
Peace
See ya.
out.
The Dick Show.
Tight ends, sacks, ball handling, like every like how
You forgot the
years-
best one.
Deep penetration.
Did they say that?
America.
Fuck yeah. Oh, imagine the possibilities.
I've been riding Caleb Williams' dick since he was in high school.
This is a true story.